Well, the wait is finally over. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to James Karl Morrisons' personal blog. Bye. Yeah, believe it or not, even though I've only got, I've had only 43 views in the last 6 months, I do actually have a small, teeny weeny fan base. I actually got a text this evening during rehearsals begging me, pleading me to do another James Karl Morrison personal blog. So, with that said, I sorted out my webcam, which has unfortunately been bust for a couple of months, and here we are. Well, where should I begin? For all of you who's been paying attention, or have slight care, I finished my NDC FDA course in theatre company, and I went through quite a few projects. And I suppose the one that I talked to about last was the what was it? It was the it was a very suicidal 448 Psychosis from Sarah Kane. I've got to say, even though it was free admission, it went rather well. I didn't want it to be free admission, simply because the rest of the plays that I've done wasn't free admission. So in a way, it was sort of a letdown. The only reason it would be free admission would be that the actors didn't think it was worth it. But the only reason that ours was free admission was simply because it was quite dark content. I mean, very few people really want to go to a show and be depressed, especially around these parts. And what with it being free admission, we had a lot of the seats filled. And like most of the shows, it was only one night. So, how do I put it? It was really dark. It was everything that we intended. It was really, really scary. The fact that the main character had actually brought in some antidepressants, her own description of antidepressants as a prop, sort of shows how bloody real it was. I mean, it was raw emotion, and I mean, I was there really sort of as a light comedy relief. I didn't even intend to be, but some of my lines just came out funny, and I sort of executed them in sort of like bleakest time, sort of like right at the end of like one of her monologues, where she was just bleeding and cut her arms and screaming for the end, and I'm like, oh dear, what happened to your arm? In like this posh like Stephen Fry sort of voice, and somehow that came across as funny, and yeah, people sort of giggled at it. But yeah, it did. I would consider it a success, despite the fact that we didn't make a profit. And I will tell you that Woman Who Cooked Her Husband, I didn't realise this, was on record the most profitable foundation degree play that's ever been performed. 63 quid. It would have been 130, but we made a loss on the front of house. So, but hey, that tiny 63 quid, quite proud. What else have I done other than that? Well, I did quite a few projects. I did what else did I do? The Theatre Company 2, which was sort of a role. I had to be a stage manager for the entire year. I did quite a heavy write-up about that. I did work experience. I don't know if I commented on that before. I devised and directed my own performance based on UWE. And I wish I'd have posted a blog solely on that. Really, the end result really was me tied up onto a curtain rail in my boxers, wearing a makeshift Batman costume made out of bin bags for free admission. So for like anybody who was willing to see it, around about 20 people came to see me in my glory. To be quite honest, it didn't go well as I hoped. It's not purely for the sick sight of my fatty, very purple stretch marked body being on display for everyone to see. But it was because it was devised. It sort of it didn't come across as punchy. It was really my fault. I had the best team in the world, but I really feel I should have perhaps maybe scripted some lines. Gave a bit of a helping hand. And the problem with it being on the spot was that it sort of they got too engrossed in the situation, and it appeared too real. And for them it was funny, but for the people watching it was sort of not so funny. And that's the trap with devised, unfortunately. What feels funny for the performers and feels unique isn't so much for the audience, which was a good job, but it was centered around a guy near enough bollock naked in a Batman costume. So that at least there was a bit of humour. I mean, so it wasn't bad. I sort of delivered on what I promised, but yeah, it could have been better. No fault to the actors though, who performed their roles well. Oh my god, this is running faster than I bloody thought. I did a marketing presentation. That was cool. Obviously essays, a shitload of essays, history on the Stanislavski. I did a performance about that as well. The essay was sort of like a logbook based on the performance. We had to do Stanislavski style. Nothing really new, but it was still interesting to work with Jane. Those three girls that I do not get along. Katie, Emma, but he literally tore Jane a new asshole. Just a fucking fight about bullshit, nothing, every 15 minutes. Quite intense. I suppose the final week was really just pushing out the coursework, really. I couldn't think about anything else. Because of that, I gained a lot of weight. I had to give up the ramshackle rally, which I was really upset about. I sold my car to my former teammates so they could use it. I think the kicker was there that they couldn't use it because it was too new. They didn't overlook the rules, and they had to buy a new car and use that one as scrap, which was a bit of a bastard because I really liked that car. I didn't learn to drive, obviously, and I didn't do the half marathon. The good news is I finished the course. I'm not sure if I passed yet. I'm sure I have, but I can't really say until I get my results. The last day was quite emotional, really. Just handing in all that coursework, saying goodbye to people that I'm most probably not going to meet. Seeing Anna, who fell pregnant. She was the head of the course who let me on the course, even though I really didn't meet the criteria to get in there. She let me in. Getting a bit teary-eyed, yeah, you can tell. Saying goodbye to the teachers, we all chipped in, and Emma made a deal with some people and got some champagne, 3 bottles of champagne to her favourite lecturers, homemade cards, the works. And the last day, me, Emma, Katie, and a lecturer, our favourite lecturer, Kathy, had a beer together in Witherspoons and just reminisced, what we'd done, what we accomplished, joked about who we thought was gonna make it at the end, who we didn't think. It was quite funny that me and Emma sort of talked to each other and sort of said, at first I really didn't like you, Morris, and I'm like, I didn't really like you either. And it's sort of it's really funny how things turn out. That we sort of got to like each other in the end, and now we're pretty good friends. We're probably most likely going to commute to Plymouth together, or she's either going to I'm either going to live there, or she's going to crash at my house for free. But whatever. We're definitely going to be seeing each other in the future. Me, Katie, and Emma. So yeah, good. Good times. The future.